Hi friends, it's Terry Stewart, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, located in Central Maryland. Welcome to this month's bundle bonus. So we're focusing on online exclusives that are found on the Stampin' Up! Website. It's July 2024, so let's get started. So although I don't have a bundle to share, I am sharing some online exclusives. So I have the Throughout the Year stamp set, and I love the sentiments because you can use them throughout the year. You have the happiest birthday, so everybody has a birthday once a year. You've got some holidays, best of luck, thank you, things that you would want to share with people throughout the year. Then I have these Deckled Rectangle Dies, and they kind of make it look like a torn edge, so I'll be using the third largest one and the smallest one for my card project. And I'm also using this Painted Texture 3D embossing folder. So let me bring out my project. So this is the card I am going with, Wild Wheat. And you'll see that I've used this small rectangle, whoops, there it went, 3 times. And then this larger one on this piece here that is basic beige. So let me bring out my supplies. So I have a card base that is Wild Wheat, and it's 5.5 by 8.5 scored in the middle. And for my metric friends, that would be 10.5 centimeters by, actually it's 14.9 by 21, scored at 10.5 centimeters. Then I have another piece of cardstock, Wild Wheat, 4 by 5.25 or 10 by 14.4 centimeters. I have a piece of basic vanilla that's the same size, 4 by 5.25 or 10 by 14.4 centimeters. And then I have some scraps. I've got basic beige, Wild Wheat, and a piece of berry vanilla. And actually, you know what? This color is not, I think this is gray granite, so let's put that aside. Anyway, you need a piece of basic beige. You need a piece of basic beige. And let me bring in my dies. So I'm going to go to my cut and emboss machine and cut 2 in Wild Wheat of the smallest rectangle and 1 in basic berry vanilla. So take those to my cut and emboss machine. I'll find a piece of basic beige and cut this framelit. So let me go and do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I am back. Here are my 2 pieces of Wild Wheat and berry vanilla in my small die. And then I did find a piece of basic beige, and I cut that with my 3rd largest die. So for our stamping, let's do some stamping, and then we'll do some technique, okay? Let's shift some things away. And we're going to stamp on our basic vanilla pieces. And we're going to do that with Pebbled Path. So on the front, I am going to use the happiest of birthdays, and this does come from Throughout the Year. Let me ink this up, and let me see if I can get it centered in here. Just give it a few seconds for the ink to transfer. Perfect. Now for the inside sentiment, I am using a greeting from the Unbounded Love, and that stamp set can be found in the annual catalog, and I'm going to use May All Your Wishes Come True. And this is a photopolymer stamp, so you can see where you're stamping it. So let me ink this up, and I want it right in the center. Give it a few seconds and a good press. Perfect. So that is all the pebbled path. Now I'm going to set this aside, and show you a technique. So my technique involves the Painted Texture 3D embossing folder. And we're going to put ink directly on the embossing folder. We're going to put ink on this side, so the side that has the Stampin' Up! Label. I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to take my basic beige cardstock, close it up, take my 3D plate, and run it through my Big Shot with the base, just the base, then my embossing folder, then my 3D plate. So let me show you how that will work. So with this ink pad open, I'm just going to ink it up right onto just like that. And take my basic beige, lay it here in the center, close this up, take it to my embossing, cut an emboss machine, and out will come, well, I can open this up and show you. Not much right now, right? But this is what the final product will look like. Now there's one other thing I wanted to do. I wanted to do a little bit on this background layer. So again, I'm going to ink it up like so. Close my ink pad. Then take my layer that's 4 by 5 1/4 or 10 by 14.4. Lay that here, and then use my embossing folder. And I'm just going to press it. I'm not trying to get all the details. I just want to transfer a little bit of ink. So that's just what I wanted. Now I'll take this to the sink and just rinse it. It's water-based. It will just rinse away. And then I'll let it dry. But simple cleanup, really simple. Just take it to a sink and run the water over, and the water-based ink just goes right down the sink. So now we're working on our pieces. And these pieces I did put some edging on. So let me bring back my ink pad, my wild wheat ink, and a dauber. And I just inked it up, and then went around the edges quickly just to give a little definition. This is a quick and easy inking technique. Just these 3 small die cuts. And it just makes them pop against the background a little bit, I think. And then finally, our sentiment. Same thing, just brings that little bit of wild wheat ink to this. I don't know why, that's a tongue twister for me today. Okay, maybe just down here a little bit. That's all the inking and stamping for this project. And now we can get to assembling. I am going to put some dimensionals behind this. and I like to use every little bit of my dimensional, so I'll cut the edges, and that way you get 100% use of your dimensional pieces, even out to the sides. Okay, so I do want to put that cover on so I can do some dry fitting. So here's my card base that I've already pre-scored. I'm going to use my bone folder to crisp up that score line. I do like a crispy score line. There we go. And then our first layer will go like this. Then our basic beige layer, we'll center it top, bottom, left, right. And then these pieces will fit in here. And I'm trying to get the same amount of space at the top and the bottom. So, and left, right for these. And right in the center. So let's start adhering our first layer, our top layer of wild wheat. And that embossing folder just adds a little bit of distress, just a little bit of a pattern. And then you can really see that 3D embossing on the painted texture. So center, right, left, top, bottom. And then rectangle 1, rectangle 2, and these are going to be adhered directly to our basic beige layer, and then this one will just sit right there in the center. That looks about right. So let's start down here, and I'm going to use plenty of glues to get on into all those nooks and crannies in this embossing folder. It really does look like a painted texture, like the texture comes from a paint. Okay, just trying to straighten that up a bit. Good. And then I'll rotate this just to help with lining it up. And our glue. A little bit heavy-handed there. Make sure that it adheres. And then line it. Center it. Okay. And now our final is to put our Bare Vanilla right in the center. So get rid of these dimensional covers, and we're almost in the home stretch. So are you enjoying the online exclusives? You do have to check them frequently because things will come and go. And even demonstrators don't know which items will be restocked. So yeah, there is kind of a sense of urgency that if you see something on the online exclusives, make sure you jump on it, because it may not be once it sells out, that might be the end. And there's our inside. And then the last little, for the last, I'm going to put on some of these iridescent faceted gems. I have my take your pick tool. I'm going to use this putty end and take a large one. What I did is I lined it, used my grid paper. I found the center and I stuck my gem there. And then I took a small one, and this is where I just eyeballed where I thought the same distance apart. That one might be a little bit far, right about there. Yeah, maybe that's up a little bit. It's hard, I don't have my head over it. Add a little bit of bling. So there is my bundle bonus. Although it's not a bundle, you can create your own bundle by buying or purchasing the Throughout the Year stamp set, the Deckled Rectangle Dies, and the Painted Texture 3D embossing folder. I hope you enjoyed this project. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can bring you even more fun projects. And until next time, remember, stamping is fun. Bye.